Hello everyone, hope you all having a great day today. Back with some Genshin Impact. So, hope you're all having a good day so far. I've just kind of been having a bit of a tiring week so far, because I am going to be moving into my college dorm on Wednesday, but that's hopefully that'll be nice. I haven't actually seen it yet. Still need to work on getting packed though. But anyway, let's move on to this. Oh yeah, because I do want to mention some few things. For one, I got Mona from one of the standard wish banners after getting a whole bunch of like the blue face things. I forgot their names. That's good. And then I tried pulling for your Maya again, but yeah, I've done it on this school, but it's not kind of what I was hoping for, and I kind of used up a lot of all my EXP books, so can't level either of them up. But hopefully we'll get present. There's still a little more than a week left, so maybe I'll try pulling for Yomaya again. I'm not sure if it's worth it though. We'll see. Oh,
Is this a new recruit?
Yes, it is.
Looks like a strong addition to the troop. Hopefully someone I can spar with after I've recovered.
Yeah, sure.
Whoa. Brand new recruit and your first thought is to start sparring with them. You're getting ahead of yourself. That wound of yours isn't something that's going to clear up in a few days.
And I like the kind of people who enjoy fighting.
Tepe, did you bring this one in? How are things on the front line?
Not good.
Well, the enemy are much stronger than we could have imagined, but we're holding our own. I've been right in the thick of it. At one point, there were a horde of enemy troops surging towards us like the tide, but I didn't flinch. I drew my blade and charged straight into the fray. 4 shogunate samurai, and only one of me. But I still managed to fend them off.
Pretty sure we had to save you from just one of the samurai.
Look at you. When did you grow nerves of steel?
This guy stole the show, though. When he saw me tiring and falling back, he burst onto the scene and took down a whole group of them in one fell swoop. They were no match for him at all.
Oh, okay. Yes, that makes sense. We didn't actually see the whole fight.
I heard he even stormed the Vision Hunt ceremony.
Yes, that was
And that
me.
the Raiden Shogun herself failed to take him down.
I mean, that was thanks to Toma, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Amazing work, both of you. Still, I can believe most of that, but him facing off against the Raiden Shogun? I think you might be embellishing the story a little there, Teppei. I mean, we've all heard of the Muso no Hitotachi, right?
Again, it was thanks to Toma, but we did win. Not win, but we survived fighting Ball.
Either way, to tell the truth, with all the losses we've sustained recently, I was starting to lose hope in our ability to hold out much longer. But seeing fresh recruits join our ranks and hearing Teppei's exploits, I'm itching to get myself better as soon as possible so I can get back out on the front line.
That's a lukewarm epiphany if you ask me. While you're lying there itching to get better, I'm still out there training hard despite my injury. Oh, even though it burst open again yesterday.
That's not good.
It did? Well, do you need me to get you something to dress it with? I heard about a remedy recently that uses wild bugs.
What?
All you need to do is grind Onikabuto into powder and it makes a very effective dressing.
Okay.
They say it feels cool on the skin and acts fast to completely cure flesh wounds.
Sure, I'll take one. Thanks.
Sounds a little strange to me. I would have thought wolf hooks would do the trick, but it's your decision.
Well, how about we let our new recruit decide? I'll stay here and make some preparations. If you're a fan of weird and wonderful remedies, please gather some Onikabuto for me. I'll take it from there. But if
Pretty
you're
sure I
more
got
of a
plenty.
wolf hook advocate, bring some of those instead. Personally, I recommend we try the new remedy. It sounds promising.
Yep, alright, here you go.
Thanks for your help.
Onikabuto. You know what? I trust wolf hook fitters because I remember Razor using these before, and I trust Razor.
Oh. Never mind. I guess this was probably the safer option. I may need your help in a moment to change their dressings. Here's hoping this will speed up their recovery. And, thanks for your help gathering the ingredients.
You're welcome.
This really hurts when you first put it on. It's a standard remedy, but a dependable one. More importantly, thanks for the fresh dressing. Much appreciated.
You're welcome, sir.
You may have skimped a little here, though. I feel like I could use some more. I'm dying to get out of this place. I just want to be back on the battlefield with you.
I don't think it works like that. Piling on extra dressing isn't going to make you heal faster. Especially not when you're sneaking off to go train in the middle of the night. You have to cut that out, you know. Thanks again, Teppei. And thanks to our new recruit here.
You're welcome, sir.
Speaking of training, that reminds me. They should be doing some archery practice down at the training grounds right now. Why don't you take our new recruit to go check it out?
Alright.
It'll be a good chance for them to meet a few more of our platoon and settle in.
You got it. All right, let's move out.
Alright. I'm ready for archery. First, let's go. There they are. Boy, am I gonna give it to it? Alright. Come on. Please don't leave. Okay. Rest here. To that chest. there's no enemy. We do this? Maybe? Okay, I've seen something like this. If I need to use a weapon. Okay. Guess I'll have to check that out later. Now I try to. Why did I go space bar? Alright. Now I'm working.
Oh, another miss. This sucks. Let's see now. I've loosed exactly 10 arrows and only one
Bullseye?
hit the target.
Ah,
This isn't good enough. It's evident from these past few days that practice alone isn't enough to improve our marksmanship. How hard could it be? Just draw the bow, aim, and shoot. Clearly, I underestimated the skill involved. With progress like this, who knows when we'll be fit for battle? I suppose all we can do for now is wait for the drill master's next visit and ask him for more tips.
Seems things have gotten tough on the front line recently. All the best drill masters have already been dispatched to fight. I guess we'll just have to keep practicing ourselves. At this rate, who knows if we'll ever become resistance fighters.
waking up with that.
Come on, guys, less complaining, more training.
Teppei senpai?
Listen up for a second. I've come to introduce our newest recruit.
Hello.
In battle, he single-handedly slayed multiple shogunate samurai without so much as breaking a sweat. And that was after interrupting the vision hunt ceremony with a feat of stunning bravery. Not to mention surviving an encounter with the Raiden Shogun.
Is that true? Perhaps you'd be willing to give us some archery tips?
No, but official kind.
We promise not to take too much of your time. A quick demonstration would be all we need. Our previous training was so rushed that we hardly remember the proper technique.
It would mean a lot.
Alright, watch closely.
You got it. We won't let you down.
Alright, depth, stress, number of blue targets, training. Alright. Wait, hold on one. Oh, there you are. Get this one. There we go. Oh, there you are. Now for you. Get this. There you are.
Well,
Hi,
there you
Knuckle.
have it. I
Welcome to the
told
stream.
you our
Hope
latest
you're having
recruit
a
is
good
pretty
day so
strong.
far. And thank you for the love.
Incredible. I think I understand what I was doing wrong now. My posture was off, and I didn't draw back with enough force. Seems I also need to focus on keeping my grip steady and monitoring the external environment. If I can get those few down, I'll be hitting my mark in no time.
Those few, huh? Watching your demonstration was a great help. I learned a lot. At
That's
least
good.
this time I was able to observe some proper technique. As long as I can retain it, I know I'll become much stronger.
Oh, thank you. It's always nice to have you around for company as well.
Honestly, before this whole conflict came about, I was just another everyday citizen of Watatsumi Island. My wife and I were leading a quiet life together. War and battles were the last things on our mind. That all changed with the Vision Hunt decree. The actions of the Shogun's army ignited something inside me. That's why I joined the resistance. The road ahead of us now seems like a long one indeed. Can those of us without visions or combat skills really become adept fighters like them?
You can
There's
try.
no use in speculating. Thank you both for your help. We'll keep practicing as much as we can.
Stay focused. With us holding the front line, you can continue sharpening your skills until you're ready. Now then, let me show you around some other places. Where
Alright.
should we head next?
Sir,
Oh.
we've got trouble. The Shogun's army is attacking. There are still many wounded in the camp. We mustn't let the enemy break through. We'll need your help to hold them off.
Alright, well,
What?
right, let's go.
Impossible. How could they have reached us all the way out here? We'd better go assess the situation. A chance for us to prove our worth in battle.
Alright. Wait, where? Oh, there you are.
With the wind!
Alright.
Battle formation! Archers, quick!
Come on, guys. Get a spear. Alright.
You cannot match
Oop.
my... I've lost! Get them!
Come on. Come on. Come on. Drive, buddy.
Take this!
Come on. Drive. Come on.
Race you!
I won't forget this.
Well, we managed to hold them off. But what would the Shogun's army be doing here? We have
No idea.
sentries and patrols posted all around the perimeter here. The enemy should never have been able to reach us this far unnoticed. Unless we have a traitor in our midst.
There's an imposter among us.
They must have an informant, feeding them intelligence and helping them to approach unseen. That's the only possible explanation. Our priority is finding the agent and protecting the camp. This is my chance to show what I'm made of.
Sir, if I may, I just returned from inspecting the perimeter. It appears that several portions of our defensive walls were already collapsed. The Shogun's army must have known about this vulnerability and made their way over from the cliffs nearby before attacking through the gaps in our defenses.
Okay.
I suggest we repair the walls and double the guard. That should keep them from sneaking up on us like this again.
I probably asked the people there what they were
In that
doing.
case, understood. Leave the repairs to us. We can make use of the wooden rope nearby to patch up the defenses. Why don't we make this more interesting, recruit? A contest between the two of us. Just don't underestimate me. If there's anything I know, it's logistics. You'll see.
Alright. So around here there's gotta be something. There it is. This isn't really much of a wall anyways. I think they could have climbed that too.
All
There's
right,
not
that
too
should
much
do it.
problem.
The Shogun's army will have a hard time getting past this, no matter how determined they are.
Maybe. We'll
Seems
see.
I've made another valuable contribution to the resistance. But why does it always have to be logistics work? I thought getting transferred to the front line would be a chance to showcase my abilities and square off with the enemy. Instead, here I am. Doing what I've always done before.
Why are you so insistent about being on the front line?
That's a good
It's
question.
just like General Goro said. We joined the resistance because of our warrior's will. There are a multitude of ways to contribute to the resistance, but who wouldn't want to take out a few shogunate samurai given the chance?
That's true.
Anyway, we got more than we bargained for inspecting the camp. Let's report back to General Goro. If all
Got
goes
it.
well, we might just be assigned a few missions closer to the action.
Alright, let's go see the Doggo Man. Or the Fox Man, right? I'm not really sure what he is. A lot of people debating about that on what I've seen. Some say he's a Shiba, some say he's Wolf, some say Fox.
Strange. I don't see General Goro anywhere.
Well, he wasn't here before.
We've had a change of plans.
Oh,
The general has been dispatched to the front line to lead our forces into battle. The Shogun's army is attempting an advance on the main front. Reports have it that Kujo Sara is now personally leading the enemy forces.
Ooh.
As for us, it's been days since Her Excellency last made an appearance here. We've executed almost all the directives she gave us, but have received no further instruction. The situation is becoming grim. If we retreat any further, I fear morale may falter. For now, we can only pray that General Goro will be able to turn the tide, however difficult that may seem.
We should go to the front line.
Alright, got
Our
it.
forces need all the help they can get. We're no use to them here. We mustn't let Tatarasuna fall to the enemy.
Alright. Gotta go to the front line. Let's prepare to teleport. See, hey, beach. Okay, so lots of opponents are going to be in the wet status a lot, so Mitchell will be good if we actually have to fight him. And I hope we do. Cool. Am I on the... Wait, am I on the wrong side? Oh, my bad. Go over here. So. Surprisingly not a lot of fighting between them, seen yet.
So, you are the only one here? I thought I might get to meet your grand strategist. She is the one that's been causing our forces so much trouble. The fact the resistance has even held out for this long is thanks to her. But soon, the resistance will fall. They are no match for the might of the Shogun's army. Her schemes mean nothing now.
I don't know about that. Your army isn't quite as strong as you probably think it is.
We have already rooted out those behind the resistance. All who have dishonored the almighty Shogun will be punished.
Nah.
I have faith in Her Excellency and in the soldiers of the Resistance. The Vision Hunt Decree is a brutal injustice. Our resistance has only just begun.
I will say that Goro's voice in English dub at least is still kind of weird for me. I don't know. I don't know if it fits well with this design.
It is futile. There is one other thing. I'm sure you've seen the recent arrest warrants. I trust that the blonde traveler is somewhere among your forces now.
It is.
I will
He is.
make you a deal.
I am him.
Hand
He is
him
me.
over to us, and you'll buy yourself some time. A respite from the bloodshed would be advantageous to both sides. Would it?
So that's why you brought reinforcements. Just to get...
He is of great importance to the almighty Shogun.
No?
But the way I see it, he is expendable to the resistance.
That's where you're wrong. He means just as much to us. As a member of the Resistance, he's a comrade. I'll never surrender him to you.
Ah, thanks, Goro.
The Resistance never betrays its own. Her Excellency made that clear to everyone from the very beginning.
General Goro!
We are here.
Tepe and the Traveler, what are you doing here?
We are here to help.
It would appear our time to fight side by side has finally come.
Well, well, we meet again. This time, I won't let you get away.
Alright.
I thought
I'll
that
do it
you would
myself.
seek refuge with the Resistance in the hope of receiving asylum. That you choose to show up here proves that you have more bravery in you than I had originally thought. And now that you're here, I have a proposal. Why not represent the Resistance in a fight of honor?
Oh.
A fight of honor? What's that?
Guess it's a duel.
Before the battle begins, each side chooses their finest warrior for a match of single combat.
That's kind of weird.
To the superior force, there's little significance in such a duel. But to the weaker force, victory could constitute an important boost to their morale. Her motives are clear. She wants to use the match as an opportunity to capture you. Do not feel compelled to participate. We could take the fight to them without such a ceremony.
Well, what do you think? Will you fight?
I accept. I don't care what they got planned. I'm ready for it. And she's not even the one fighting. Yes, that guy, I think. We are good. I'll let you have this, alright? Come on. Try me. Cool. Good shot, buddy. Good shot. Very good shot. Come on. Come on. Try again. Help. Okay, we're fighting multiples.
Remove all threats to eternity by order of the Almighty Shogun.
Be wary! You're up against a powerful opponent!
Oh, okay. Alright then. Get a little more serious this time around.
I won't forget this.
Oh. Okay, we're getting serious now. That's fine with me.
You got this!
There's more than one round. Keep it up.
Alright.
Watch your step.
God.
Show me what you've got. I dare you.
Invincibility phases. Well, not invisibility, but like, it doesn't knock
Stronger
me
than I
around.
anticipated. This contest has served its purpose.
Alright.
Soldiers, attack! Glory to the Shogun and her everlasting reign!
Alright,
Prepare
good
to
luck.
engage!
I like the floor of 3 of you.
All of you,
myself.
with me!
You got nothing. Ooh, that's it. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, these guys need a lot more training.
Now!
Stand firm! Hold the line!
I'm just saying, there's a lot of rain out here. We had one electro person in here. Oh! What's going on?
Her Excellency!
Oh!
The wait is over, my comrades.
Ah, there's the line.
Our moment.
Calm as the breeze.
Hey, Castle is here!
I just hope you can afford all these mercs you've gathered!
Oh, Beta too. Finally back in the store.
Kazuha!
We meet again, old friend.
There we go. So where'd the rest of the pirates?
All forces, retreat!
Hello.
Greetings. Well, this is the first time we've met. Please allow me to introduce myself.
Nice to meet you, Sakana no Namiya Kakomi.
I am Sangwon Sangonomiya Kokomi, organizer of the resistance and also the divine priestess of Watatsumi Island.
Oh, well, I definitely messed up the family name, but nice to meet you.
Perhaps it's the first time you're hearing that title. To put it simply, I'm the person currently in charge on Watatsumi Island, which is also the home front of the resistance. I've actually heard all about you from Beidou and Kazuha. I hadn't expected to find you join the resistance, though. Do you have a plan beyond this point?
Not really.
In that case, shall we continue our conversation at the shrine of Sangonomiya?
Sure.
Although the Shogun's army has retreated for now, the war is far from over. The Vision Hunt Decree has not been repealed, and neither the Tenryo Commission nor the Raiden Shogun show any sign of stopping. In short, our problems have yet to be resolved. I suggest we move to the shrine to discuss our counterplan. What say you?
Sure.
Can I come too? I know Watatsumi Island very well. I can carry on being your guide if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
Goro, thank you for all you have done. Our forces are weaker than the Shogun's army, and my absence can only have made the recent days all the more trying for you. I'm afraid I must still ask you to stay a while longer, to keep eyes on the Shogun's army and also to see to the wounded. But I will ask the mercenaries to remain stationed here, and Kazuha is here too. Hopefully this will serve to reduce the pressure you are under.
Well received, Your Excellency.
I must return to Sangonomiya now. I have a few things to attend to. Once you're ready, please rendezvous with Teppei. He will escort you there.
Okay, are we also not going to do anything about the person who's apparently going to be a spy and like the guy who told them about the damaged wall from earlier?
Thank you for all your efforts so far. From this day on, I fight alongside you. Fight for the future of Inazuma.
Alright. Got all that. Now what? Oh. Wait. Is that it? Oh. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, I just want to get on this. Oh, it's worth talking.
On the way here, I happened to learn of the bounty on your head. As expected, you seem to have given them quite the challenge in that regard. I hear also that you witnessed the Raiden Shogun. I trust she's as oppressive as ever. The Musono Hitotachi. Are there truly those who can withstand it?
There probably are.
Perhaps one day we will be able to face her oppression head on. This is the reason I returned to Inazuma.
Nice, so what about Beta? There.
I guarantee you, only the Alcor could pull off an ambush as quietly as that. Did we give you a fright? I gotta admit, I was caught off guard myself. When we dropped you off in Rito, I wasn't expecting Tatarasuna would be the next place I'd see you. But wherever you might end up, you'll always be part of Captain Beto's crew.
That's nice.
If you're ever in a tight spot, come and find me. I'll have your back.
Thank you. Alright, so how about Gord?
Her Excellency never fails us. I must say, I was certainly surprised to look out and see Kazuha joining the fray. It's been quite some time since we last fought side by side. At that time, his friend was defeated in a duel before the throne and executed by the Raiden Shogun. Kazuha came to visit the resistance as he was fleeing Inazuma with his friend's vision. Hard to believe it's been so long.
Okay. Well, since everything else is done, I guess to the next update at least, I guess I'll just hang here and just do all my other stuff. Okay, so where is Alright, you get rid of all that mumbo jumbo first. Alright. Expeditions. That stuff. Yep. Okay.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
There we go. Okay. I've been wondering if I should actually try boosting up Kaching more, but not sure how good she is. She's a 5-star, but I feel like I've heard more people complain about getting her than how strong she is. It might just be because she ruins their pity, though. This is basically the way it is with D-Luke, I think. I'm pretty sure Jean to an extent. By the way, looks like. Alright, grab this. Must like that. Okay, then. Alright. It's been a while since I've actually gotten some commissions in Mondstadt. Alright. And it's display. Izuma's great and all, but memories of this place really takes me back.
Anything the knights can do for you?
Hello. Anything on here? Also, would you guys recommend? Still think, but would you guys recommend that I try playing for Yoimiya again? Cause I've been thinking about it for a while. There's only about a little more than a week left until Ball shows up, but you really want it. I really like her as a character, and yesterday I played around with her in like the trial thingies, and I think she's pretty fun to play around with. But I mean, Ball, we know she's gonna be OP. Like all the Archons are gonna be OP. Like, well, not gonna be. They all have been OP so far. So. Not sure. I mean, I did it. Only started a week until this week. Oh, really? I did not know that. I always thought he was just extremely overpowered with like all his shields and stuff from what I've heard. I don't know much about him because, well, I definitely don't have him, but what I've seen, he's really good support and also sort of DPS, I think. Don't know about my luck here, because first time I tried pulling for her, I got all weapons. Second time I actually used these things, didn't want to waste any more Primo Gems, and I got Diona, but everything else was still just weapons, so I'm not sure. And even if I do somehow get a 5 stars, no guarantee I win to 50-50 though. But I think if I do that, then that's at least guaranteed ball, I think. I don't know if that carries over to the next banner or not. I'm not sure how pity really works. I think I'm gonna do like all the quests I want to do. See how many gems I get after that.
Report it to the church.
I'll try calling for just this once at the end of the stream, maybe. Okay, it does carry over. So we go pray this. Wipe the dust. Since having Lily. Statue is supposed to be filthy with down and cleaned down with somewhat. I can do that. Okay, deal with the power part. The dust they collect cannot be simply wiped off. Alright, we need. Yeah, never mind. We rise. Is it the one right in front of here? No, I think it's somewhere farther out. There it is. There you are. Oh, peace. That's... How many pulls are there? Soft. I really don't know too much about how the fee system works, so... All I can say that I've done a total of 20 pulls technically for your Mia's banner. I don't know if it counts, but it might count. I did get Mona in one of the standard banners. So if that affects it at all, then Socrates starts around 70. I don't think I've even really done 74. Pity's a cruel lie most of it. Oh, Joe. Alright, separate. Back pace. That's a fun section. Hold on, mouse. The life of a gacha player, honestly. Okay. That's 1 10 times. Second 10. Oh, I did 2 wishes here. So 3, I think. Got catching on this one, so I think 30, maybe. But thank you guys. Hopefully I do get joined by or a 5-star I actually want. We'll see. Alright.
Disappear!
They're down.
Out of the frying pan!
The shield. Nice there. Alright. Spreading evil, voluntary slider. Alright, right over there. Alright. What did you guys think of Yoimiya's story? Really enjoyed it, but I think I've heard a lot of people complain about it because there's a lot of talking involved with just NPCs, really. So, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people who say they just don't like Yoimiya's character in general because she talks a lot. Personally, I kind of like those people a lot. Extroverts, around extroverted people, me talk more. They make me want to, like, hold up my end of the conversation. I know how to keep it going, but normally I don't. I find it good. It does have a very nice design. I won't say anything besides that, because... No. They're saving for Kakome. What? She's the girl who... the thing with the bubbles. Like just now. I wonder if she's gonna have something similar to Mona, where she can like just turn herself into a trail of bubbles. There we go. I'm actually see she's basically a Hydra user. I don't know what she... I don't remember seeing her carry a sword around.
Disappear!
I don't think it would be Catalyst, though, because with Mona and Barbara, we already have two. I don't think we have any, like, water single-hand sword users. So maybe it's that. But again, I haven't actually seen much of her yet, so I don't know. Zara, I get like 100% sure she's gonna be another Electro Archer. Jinyu is Hydra. I keep forgetting about him, unfortunately. Don't know why. He's the one who gets checked with Chongyun a lot, right? Oh, Takomi is a catalyst.
Add Astro.
I don't know if you heard that, but I think my dog got upset about something. I might have to check that out later. Anything else we need? Reputation quest. I can do that in a bit. First time I need to make these. Actually, hold on. Now they're finally pushed this story. I should have some story quests I've been meaning to do for a while now. Story done, Barbara. I think the well second one we need to do. Then after that, to Chongyun and Bennett. If we have time. Alright, so I really enjoyed the first hangout quest Noelle had, so I wonder what you'll have this time. Alright, right over there. I haven't seen too much of Bennett, but what I've seen from memes usually, usually he has a lot of issues with bad luck. He's a very nice person. He tries to help people out a lot. He also made himself like an adventure.
Favonia's Bladework Fundamentals.
Also, I hear a lot of people talking about how, like, you either should or shouldn't activate his C6. Apparently, his constellation's bad for some people, or like it messes up like the other members of their team. I don't know too much about it.
So much to learn before the exam. How will I ever get through everything? Oh, honorary knight! Long time no see! Anything you need me to take care of?
Just came by to say hi.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. It has been quite a while since we last met, hasn't it? I've been busy preparing for my exam. Other than for work and training, I've barely left the library. The exam is drawing nearer and nearer, but there just seems to be an endless amount of material to review.
That's basically me with the AP exams, like during my senior year.
Right. The Knights of Favonia's selection exam. Oh. Even though I've already worked for the Knights as a maid for some time, I still need to pass this exam to officially become a knight.
Actually, how has she not become a knight at this point?
It's just that I've failed several times in the past. I still don't know if I can make it this time.
Hey, be your study buddy.
Study buddy? No, that won't be necessary. This is my exam, and I'm taking it to fulfill my dream. Any obstacles I face are mine to overcome.
Okay, so C6 changes everyone's attacks to Pyro. I can see how that might be bad for some people, but With some others, it could actually help a lot, maybe.
Plus, there is still some time to go before the exam arrives. Well, you're the honorary knight of Mondstadt. It won't do for me to take up so much of your time.
That's
but
right.
On the day of the exam, if you happen to be free...
Which day is the exam?
Based on the night's schedule, I think it should be half a year from now.
Huh. Okay.
But it's just half a year. Don't you think that's quite soon?
Not really.
Even though there is still some time, if I don't make good use of it, it will disappear.
That is true.
I've planned my schedule carefully. If I sleep 2 hours less each day and finish my work 1 hour earlier, then as long as I spend all the time I save studying, I should just about be able to finish these books.
This is basically me, but just like grinding on Genshin.
Well, there's always coffee if I feel sleepy, and I have some candy on hand just in case I ever feel low on energy.
Pushing yourself too hard will only affect your exam performance.
No,
That
it
is
won't.
true.
I've made sure to allocate time for training, too. After all, combat is also assessed as part of the examination. Did I get too worked up all of a sudden? My vision seems a bit blurry.
Oh.
No. I still have training tomorrow. I must freshen up. I apologize for letting you see me in such bad shape. I'm okay now.
Probably try to relieve your anxiety first.
But every time I think of the exam, I get so nervous. Only studying or training helps to relieve it a little. But in the end, I keep finding new ways in which I'm not prepared. And that makes me even more nervous.
Alright. Scenery might do good. Hide from it. I think I'm gonna try the first one.
You mean a change of location? Yes, staying in the Knight's headquarters and in the library all the time does tend to make me feel as if I always have to be studying.
I feel like this is where like the endings are gonna start branching off.
But where else could I go? The Cat's Tail? Or the Angel's Share? Or perhaps somewhere away from the city? Starsnatch Cliff or Windrise. I could even make some muffins, grab some napkins, and make a picnic out of it. But would that just waste too much time?
How about even farther away? Make it a trip to Liyue. Or Liyue, I don't know how it's pronounced.
A trip? To Liyue? Oh, I couldn't possibly justify that. In the time it would take to get to Liyue and back, I could have finished several of my books.
I mean, if you use the teleportation waypoints, then it's like 5 seconds. Liyue has an old saying, better to travel 10,000 miles than to read 10,000 books.
You really think I shouldn't limit myself to Mondstadt? Maybe
Yeah.
you're right. Mondstadt is symbolized by the wind, but my vision is a geo one.
Plus, also, I would like to see more characters from certain places go to other regions and interact with others there.
Maybe visiting the nation built by the Geo Archon could help me learn something new. Very well then. If it's just a quick visit.
Alright, let's go. Actually, I never actually know for sure in the canon if other people can use teleport waypoints or it's just a traveler. I mean, imagine they would be able to use it since they're kind of just standing there out in the open. Please, okay, there.
I can't believe I've really come all the way to Liyue. Wow. The architecture here is so unique, and there are so many people around. But somehow, I feel like I'm constantly being watched.
Huh? Let's see. Knights of Favonius are a rare sight around here. Met that.
Oh, I am not a Knight of Favonius yet.
Oh, okay, wait. Guess I should have trusted the other one.
You shouldn't make jokes like that in public. People may hear you and get the wrong idea. Huh. How strange. Back in Mondstadt, I never feel shy around strangers. But over here, I feel so tense. It's probably because I'm in a completely different environment. I don't know how I should act to make sure I don't make a fool of myself. And speaking of, I heard that it's customary to eat with chopsticks in Liyue. Back in Mondstadt, I've previously provided chopsticks to visitors from Liyue, but I've never used them myself. Oh, I hope I won't become a laughingstock.
I think that second one works.
Oh, I was just thinking aloud. Don't worry about it. My time here in Liyue is precious. I should make good use of it to study.
There we go.
True.
Oh, there we go.
If I offended the locals by not knowing their customs, I wouldn't have the chance to learn from them. Huh. Then, okay. Let's start by learning about the local cuisine. Do you have any suggestions?
We got the ramen restaurant, I think. That's Young Ling's one, right?
Okay. If it comes recommended by you, I'm excited to find out what kind of food it is.
Do we ever actually get this?
If it isn't the Traveler,
None
what
of
would
it's
you like
actually.
to order today? Wanmin Restaurant will cook it just how you like it. Oh, is this a new customer you brought with you? Based on Madam's attire, it would appear that even a Knight of Favonius will travel all the way to Liyue just to try Wanmin Restaurant's cooking.
Okay, so they recognize that she's at least dressed like a Knight of Favonius.
Knight of Favonius? Oh, I'm not.
I'm just joking, of course. You must be in Liyue on official business. But anyway, while you're here in Liyue, I can confidently say that you won't regret stopping by Wanmin Restaurant to try our tasty dishes.
That's not what I meant.
Not what you meant? Oh, I see. I suppose you must be looking for Liyue Pavilion or Sinue Kiosk. Most first-time visitors have only heard of these two places. I just didn't expect the Knights of Favonius to be the same way.
Oh.
What I meant was, I am not an official Knight of Favonius. I'm just a knight in training currently serving as a maid.
Goodness, they really distinguish between knights to that degree?
Yes.
Well, anyway, as long as you dine at Wanmin Restaurant, rest assured you will leave here a satisfied customer. Since this is your first time in Liyue, perhaps you're not used to chopsticks yet. If so, might I recommend the grilled tigerfish? Fresh, fragrant, and easy to eat.
That's nice.
If I tone down the spice a little, it should be perfect for the Mondstadt palate. Want to try it?
What do you think?
I want to learn about the Liyue diet. Adjusting the dish to accommodate what I'm used to seems to defeat the purpose of coming here.
Okay.
Oh, you want to try something with more of a local flavor? Well, in that case, you've got to try our signature dish, black back perch stew. The only thing is, you can't really eat it without using chopsticks, and the level of spice is not for everyone. I pour oil into a hot pan, throw in a big handful of Jueyun chilies, and stir-fry them to release the flavor. Then, I sprinkle in some powdered violet grass to enhance the spiciness.
Phew! I can already feel the spiciness just by listening to your description. Will I be able to handle it?
So come on down. You can do it. Don't force it if you're not going to enjoy. Well, give it a try now.
Right.
Let's see.
I can't give up so soon. It's just a harmless bit of chili pepper. I can take it.
You got this.
Chef Mao, I will go with your recommendation.
Great. Please have a seat. One blackback perch stew coming right up.
Hopefully this isn't that bad. Alright.
Oh, so spicy. I can't even hold my chopstick steadily.
Okay. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. It's certainly very spicy, but once you get over that, oh, it's quite delicious.
Oh, that's good.
What surprised me is how the freshness of the fish still shines through, despite how heavily seasoned the dish is. The next time I entertain guests from Liyue, I wonder if I'll be able to prepare such delicious food for them.
Your cookies delicious too.
Really? Then let me bake some muffins for you when we get back.
Oh, yes. I can
Wow, you've already finished? How do you feel? Even locals rarely finish the dish so quickly.
Oh, it was very good. Thank you, Chef Mao.
Ah, you're very welcome. Seeing customers satisfied is my greatest pleasure. But I must say, I really didn't expect you to drink the soup. It's so spicy that most people here in Liyue can't even handle it.
Oh.
The soup? We weren't supposed to drink it?
That's made with, like, instant ramen. I thought you were supposed to drink the broth, but apparently not.
Oh, yes. Let's. Next time I eat in Liyue, I'll be sure to check how each dish is meant to be consumed first. Oh, that sounds like ironwork going on over there. Is it a blacksmith? From the kind of weapons made here, I should be able to learn something about the local combat style. Will you come with me to the blacksmith so I can take a look? Oh,
Sure.
Great! It's almost like you're the host and I'm your guest. As a maid, I can't help but feel a little guilty.
It's fine. Broth is really high in sodium. Ah. I'm glad I stopped.
Wow! Just from looking at these weapons, I can tell they have great power. Well, this is the nation built by the Geo-Archon, after all. Oh, I wonder how Favonia's blade work could be applied to these weapons, and what kind of modifications would be needed. Yes, and even though I'm just thinking through problems as I always do, I don't feel as nervous as I did when I was in Mondstadt.
Hey! You over there! What are you doing?
Hello?
Huh? What's wrong, little boy?
Who are you calling little boy? I'm a mighty warrior. I see
Okay.
you with your strange attire, acting all mysterious, lording around the ironmongers. Yeah, you're up to no good.
Okay, kid. That's a bit weird.
I'm not up to anything.
Huh. You can't hide it from me. I see the way you look at those weapons. Same way I look at them, too. You must be planning to sneak over and steal a couple of blades when the man's not looking, huh? Well, I'm warning you. Quit while you're ahead. Stop before you do something you'll regret. 'Cause if you get caught, that man is gonna yell at you.
She already has her own weapon, so she's good. Plus, the weapons from blacksmiths aren't usually the best.
Yes, that's right. In any case, my weapon of choice is the greatsword, and I don't see any of those here.
Greatsword, huh? Well, you got one thing right. The man refuses to show anyone his greatsword in the store, no matter how many times you beg him. Trust me, I would know. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I still don't think I can trust you unless you show me your greatsword and also your vision.
Ah, so that's what you're really after, kid.
That's not true. No greatsword can outshine the mighty Dugu longsword. And one day, I'm gonna get my Geo-vision. So, I'm not jealous. Who said anything about being jealous? Huh.
The cat is out of the bag. All right then, if you insist. Please be careful with them. Don't hurt yourself.
This is a bad idea.
You're really gonna let me have a look? Wow, you're so nice! Wow, that glow, it really is a Geo-vision. And this sword is so heavy. I can't hold it. It's not fair. If only I were a bit bigger.
Be patient, you'll get there. Besides,
Maybe.
I'm sure your dream will come true one day.
It's clear to me now. You bear a Geo-vision. You wield a greatsword. You're a nice person from Mondstadt. You must be a fabled knight of Favonius.
Not yet, but close.
Huh? I must accept that the Knights of Favonius of Mondstadt live up to their name. But I shall not concede defeat. As surely as the hills are green and the rivers flow into the sea, our paths will cross again.
Wait, Oh, he's gone. I do hope there are no further misunderstandings today.
There's gonna be more misunderstandings, isn't there?
Children in Liyue have these dreams too. I never would have thought. When I was little, the other Mondstadt kids and I always used to imagine what kinds of visions we would have when we grew up.
Oh,
I hope that someday this boy's dreams will come true too. Anyway, what's next? Should we visit Leola's harbor or take a short break?
The harbor, maybe.
Yes! There does seem to be a large number of Milliliths stationed at the harbor. It would be great if I can learn something from them.
Alright, let's go. Right over there.
While the Millilith stands guard, evil shall never prevail. Wow, it's good to finally meet you two.
You been looking for us?
Yes. Word is that a knight of Favonius has appeared in Liyue. That's why I came to have a look. I never expected that one of you would be the honored guest of the Chi-Sing, and the other one.
Ah, so there's a misunderstanding.
Must be the rumored knight of Favonius.
Oh, sorry. I am not yet a knight.
I see. Please excuse me for the misunderstanding. Allow me to introduce myself first. My name is Shayin, a Millilith responsible for garrison and patrol duties.
I am Tyrano. I travel.
And I am Noelle, maid of the Knights of Favonius. Of course, I am not yet an official knight.
Understood. Allow me to apologize on behalf of all the residents of this area for the misunderstanding earlier.
Oh, it's no big deal. More importantly, is there a reason why you were looking for a Knight of Favonius? May I be of any assistance?
Well, let me fill you in. I just received some intel that a group of treasure hoarders, originally from Mondstadt, has shown up in this area recently. According to the intel, they've set up camp near Stonegate. If we act too rashly and let them escape back to Mondstadt, then it'll be difficult for the Millilith to continue pursuing them.
Yeah, we can handle it.
That's why I was hoping the Knight of Favonius could join me in the arrest, so we could act as each other's witnesses. But it seems like this is easier said than done.
I'm sorry. Oh, if only I could have passed this selection exam earlier.
I mean, you could still beat people up.
If I submitted an official request for assistance to the Knights of Favonius, all I would achieve is to buy the treasure hoarders time to plan their escape. Might I ask if there are any other Knights of Favonius in Liyue Harbor at present?
Pretty sure just us. Unless Kaya's trying out the Osmanthus wine.
Any other knights in Liyue? Oh, of course! If it's a knight you need, well, there's one right here.
I didn't mention I am technically an honorary knight.
An honored guest of the Chi-Sing and an honorary knight too? Well, if someone who's independently a hero in two different nations is willing to lend me a hand, I can't exactly do better than that. It's just that I feel a little ashamed calling on a hero who defeats ancient gods to assist with something so trivial.
It's fine.
Wait, so, as well as Storm Terror, you defeated an ancient god too?
Yep.
Then I am
pretty sure his name was
truly
Alcino.
honored. Please excuse me while I catch up with my comrades stationed at Stonegate. I will confirm the details of the arrest with them. Whenever the two of you are ready, please come and find me there. Let's rendezvous shortly. While the Millilith stands guard, evil shall never prevail.
Okay, where are you guys at? Okay, right over there. Alright. There we go. I thought that was something I already... I'll deal with it later. I don't see a timer, so... It was just supposed to be for an air current, maybe. Not sure. Okay. Rest there. Since it's a lot, but stamina system of this game it's the only thing I really have a problem with. Makes climbing and swimming an absolute pain. At least with swimming, you can replace that with just the ice cubes with Aya and probably Ayaka too, from what I've seen. Climbing. Maybe I could just go around.
Right. Yeah. Wind blade. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it's on here by earlier. You guys. That's one down. There we go. Alright, right over there. Oh, never mind. I thought that was the actual campsite. Pardon me, sir. I need to go get that steel real quick. Hello. Okay. There it is. There we go. And now that so, probably a dumb question to ask, but chests respawn. I've heard lots of people talk about whether or not they do it. Right now and then, I do find chests in areas where I thought I would have checked before. I don't know. That's bothered me for a bit.
While the Millilith stands guard, evil shall never prevail. Thank you both for your help. We've confirmed the location of the treasure hoarders, and we will move out shortly. In case any of them slip through our grasp and try to escape to Mondstadt, we will need someone to guard this path. As I said earlier, it would not be appropriate for the Millilith to take action here, so I will have to rely on you two.
Though I am not a Knight of Favonius yet, may I still help in some capacity?
Oh, I only asked the honorary knight here to act as a witness. There are no specific restrictions over how the arrest is carried out. So please, there's no need to feel apprehensive about your involvement.
If that's the case, I shall be glad to help to the fullest extent that I am able.
Then I will meet up with my comrades first. If the treasure hoarders try to escape, they will have to pass through here. So I am counting on you two.
Got it. And the locations, then go.
Would you mind letting me handle this mission?
Want to guard this place by yourself?
Yes. If it hadn't been for you, I would not have been able to participate. As expected, compared to the honorary knight, I still have a long way to go, but I still want to do everything within my ability to share the load.
Alright.
As you wish. Then leave it all to me.
Oh.
They're coming already. Oh,
And we get to play as
her. I have what it takes.
Oh. Alright. Get out of here, you two.
Time to clean up.
Alright. Let's do this.
I'll catch up.
Get out of here, sir.
Picked the wrong test subject.
I did it. I actually did it.
Alright, there we go.
No.
Have what it takes.
It's all because of your encouragement. Otherwise...
Thank you. We've successfully detained all the treasure hoarders who tried to escape through here. We've double-checked the numbers against the intel we were given, and it looks like none of them escaped. Small wonder that you are the honored guest of the Qixing and Mondstadt's honorary knight.
Noelle took care of it
Oh,
all.
it was Miss Noelle who defeated the treasure hoarders. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're quite welcome. To be of help to you, sir, and to the Millelith, it is my great honor.
You are too humble. I hear from the merchants that the Knights of Favonius of Mondstadt are both highly skilled and only too willing to rescue people in the direst of situations. With the skills and integrity you've shown, it's no wonder that the residents of Chuhu Rock mistook you for a real knight.
Sadly, they are quite mistaken. I am still far from becoming a real knight.
Then I sincerely look forward to seeing you in action in the future, after you do become a real knight.
Okay, if there's a third story quest, she better become an official knight.
It's getting late. I should escort these treasure hoarders back. While the Millelith stands guard, evil shall never prevail. Hope to meet you both again.
Goodbye, Mr. Shaheen. A real knight. How much longer until I become worthy of this title?
Should be 5 days at best. Actually, no, like 6 months because of the exam thingy, but well, you deserve the title.
Oh, you're right. Wow, the time flew by so quickly. Is it really time to go back already? Apologies. I know this is a lot to ask, but could you spend a little longer with me? I still have somewhere that I'd like to visit.
Okay. Headed to a place I want. Nope. Right over there. Does this spot look nice?
This is the place.
The Knights are trying to keep her from being knight. She'll overwork herself. I mean, if she does become a knight, she won't be the only one overworking herself. Like Jean. They both need a vacation, honestly. Noelle should have actually... I feel like she should have been part of the summer event from not too long ago with Klee.
That's right. I often make tea for the Knights of Favonius, so I wanted to come here and see what I can learn. Would you care to join me for some tea?
Of course.
Leola's tea is certainly different from that of Mondstadt. Both the taste and the consistency are different, but the warm and soothing sense it brings me as I drink it, that feels the same.
You know, now that I think about it, if Diluc didn't have his grudge against the Knights for so long, he could probably take a load of work off both Noelle and Jean, probably.
When I read about the Knights of Favonius and the Millelith in books, their rules and philosophy seem so different. But it seems the desire to protect one's own people is the same everywhere. Yes, deep down, people everywhere are the same. I don't think I'm so afraid of my exam anymore.
That's good.
I know I still have a long way to go compared to the honorary knight. Listening to your stories is like reading about myths and legends. But still, this motivates me to work harder and look forward even more to the day when it finally comes. The day that I can fight side by side with you as a knight.
That day will come soon.
Let's come back to Liyue again, after my exam is over.
Ah, this is a nice picture. Alright. So that is one ending done. And I am loving it so far. Let's see. Do this. Alright. We need to go here. I'm not sure I remember all my decisions from. If I mess up, I have to restart again.
Wow! Oh, I wonder how Favonia's blade work could be a. Yes!
Hey!
Skip all this.
You must be planning.
Okay, so before we set this, I'll say this one.
Honorary Knight, please! I told you not to call me that!
Oh. This is a hard healing.
Knight of Favonius? Huh. Then she's no small fry after all. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I still don't think I can trust you unless you show me your great sword and also your vision. That's not true. No,
the cat is out of the bag. Please be
okay.
Wow.
I don't know if that changed anything so far.
Be patient. Besides.
You must be a fabled knight of Favonius. I must accept that the knights, as surely as the
Wait, his children and Leela have these dreams when I was little. Anyway.
Alright, so let's see. This one.
Yes. If we plan to explore further, let's take a short break.
Alright, where do we go? Third round, no. Yeah, this is the place we went with Zhongli to once.
Oh, you must be from Mondstadt. Looking at your outfit, you don't seem to be an ordinary civilian. In which case, surely...
Here we go again.
You must be an illustrious knight of Favonius.
There we go.
Pardon my directness. My name is Iron Tongue Tian, and I was hoping that you could help me out.
Oh, hold on. I'm really sorry. I am not yet an official knight, but just a maid of the Knights of Favonius.
Maid? Of the Knights? A maid knight? Oh, now that is genuinely intriguing. Miss, if you're willing to help me out, I have every confidence that you will provide me with infinitely more source material than any other knight could.
Oh, really?
As you can see, I have been a local storyteller here for a long time, and, well, my audience is starting to tire of hearing the same old stories over and over again. When I saw this young lady show up just now, I was quite awestruck by her, so much so that I was suddenly inspired by the idea of writing a new book, A Knight's Journey Through Liyue. However, inspiration is just the start. I still need some material to work with. Even the most ingenious storytellers don't just come up with stories out of thin air. I do occasionally hear anecdotes about the Knights of Favonius doing the rounds here in Liyue, but they're mostly unreliable rumors, with everyone telling a different story. Far better to find an actual knight and see for myself.
But I am still not a knight yet.
You should be.
Don't worry about all that. As the saying goes, the story should be inspired by life, but larger than life. As the storyteller, I can change a detail or two here and add some dramatic effect there, you know.
Honorary Knight, I'm a little conflicted. What should I do? Although I should always lend a hand to anyone in need, it would be dishonest for me to pretend to be a real knight.
It's not dishonest, you're just helping him generate some ideas. That is true. It doesn't have, like, the main character doesn't have to be specifically hers.
You understand me. Miss, rest assured that I will not put you in a difficult spot. All I'm asking you to do is to come with me to the countryside and show me some of your blade work. Let me see something new. I'll fill in all the other details, all within reason, of course.
Well, okay then. If it's just providing some initial source material.
Alright. Head to the hilly trail camp in the city's outskirts. You got it. Alright.
I heard earlier from the Millilith that some hilly churls have been wreaking havoc in the countryside. Ooh, let's head over there.
There we go.
This looks to be the place. Ah, but it seems our timing is off. The hilly churls are nowhere to be seen.
Oh, if the hilly churls are not around, does that mean you can't get any source material?
And we can destroy the little towers they got.
Not necessarily. Look at all the things they left here. Miss, why don't you use your great sword to clean the place up?
Oh.
Cleaning up? Well, that shouldn't be too difficult. But the hilly churls could return at any moment. Mr. Tian, please find a safe location from which to observe.
Okay. The knight's meticulous mind attended to each and every detail of her duty with the utmost care and attention. This is good. I can work with this very nightly.
Oh, you're taking notes already?
Alright.
Cleaning up a camp. I guess I do this kind of thing.
Wonderful. I'll call this one the Indomitable Sword of Favonius.
I'm gonna put some of these on. Alright, and down here. Alright, that's all. Destroy this. Okay. Destroy this. Okay.
Oh no! The hilly churls are back! Mr. Tian, please, be careful!
Okay. Let's go. Bye-bye, all of you.
Sensational. I will call that one the Impregnable Shield of Chivalry. Yes, it's coming to me now. With the prescience of a prophet, the knight foresaw the precise moment of the hilly churl's return, and promptly warned the commoners to take cover. Now she stood alone, as she drew her sword and strode forward to confront the enemy. Oh, this is all great material. It's just a pity that the only enemies are these hilly churls. It needs a little more oomph.
Or you could replace them with, like, the big hilly churls with the shields.
I've got it. Would the two of you be able to give me some kind of mementos?
Mementos?
Sure.
That's right. Mementos. Though the story is a work of fiction, the more real it feels, the more engaging it will be. Some sort of battle trophy to display before the audience would really seal the deal.
I mean, we could sell, like, go one of those, like, the horn things that the shield hilly churls drop.
Okay, so something like a hilly churl mask or an arrowhead?
If it's all the same to you, I was thinking more along the lines of, well, maybe a component from that ruin guard.
Okay, ruin guards. Doesn't sound too
Yes,
bad.
you've got it. You really understand where I'm coming from. I've heard that there's a very common component in ruin guards called the, chaos device?
Yep, I got one of those.
I should write down my new ideas before I
I
forget
got plenty of
them.
those, actually.
Just hand the chaos device to me once you've...
Oh. But alright. I have way too many of these.
Oh, such mighty power, so battered and bruised. I just need to embellish it a little further and this will be perfect.
Did you maybe fight a ruin hunter, sir?
Embellish it? Even further? Well, as long as I have been able to help you with your creative process.
Of course you have. Okay, I know where I'm going with this story now. I need to get back and start writing. Oh, and if the two of you have any free time later, stop by Third Round Knockout and you can hear me tell my new story.
Oh,
Got it.
I wonder how Mr. Tian's story will turn out in the end. For some reason, I have a bad feeling about it. Why don't we go back to Lioa Harbor and listen for ourselves?
Alright. Yeah. Alright.
With a roar like thunder, iron clashed with iron. Then 4 gigantic fists came pounding into the ground with a force beyond what could be put into words. So colossal was their weight, and so earth-shattering their impact. Such unthinkable power could easily cleave a stone peak right off the top of a mountain. Any ordinary human would either be torn to pieces in an instant, or at the very least, suffer indescribable injuries. But not so the knight from beyond the border. She did not flinch in the face of the flying iron fists, but sank instead into a low, fighting stance. And, with one swift sweep of her sword, the clash of metal erupted once more as dust billowed all around. Moments later, there was a deep and dull thud as the dust dispersed to reveal 2 pairs of iron claws lying lifeless on the ground. Such is the awesome power of the impregnable shield of chivalry, an esoteric martial technique practiced exclusively by the Knights of Mondstadt.
We'll say though that the guy voice acting this is really good at his job. He can do actual audiobooks at some point.
The knight barely had time to catch her breath before a dark shadow leaped up before her into the sky, blotting out the sun and turning day into night. It was a ruin hunter. But she was no ordinary knight, and in her heart she declared, "I have nothing to fear." With an almighty battle cry, she unleashed the indomitable sword of Favonius. Beams of golden light shone out in all directions. A gust of wind raced through the battlefield. Sparks flew and debris fell.
One knight against 2 ruin guards and a ruin hunter? Surely that must be an exaggeration.
Actually, there's this one world quest I did not too long ago where you have to fight, I think, 4 ruin guards and a ruin hunter at the end.
I suppose these stories are supposed to be taken with a grain of salt.
Is this about me? What is he talking about? Oh no, this won't do. I must ask him to rewrite the story.
It's fine, audience isn't taking it seriously.
Hard to believe? Then feast your eyes on this. This is solid proof of the Maid Knight's journey to Liyue. A fragment of a ruin guard's armor, cut from its carcass by a blow of her blade in the midst of her death-defying battle.
That is part of a ruin guard. A friend of a relative in the Millelith told me about these. Whoa.
Oh, it's real, all right. Look at the cuts on it. Fresh from the battlefield.
I must explain to Mr. Tien.
It's fine,
Modesty.
it's fine.
Modesty. These are the virtues cherished by the knights.
Hey, would you look at that? That girl over there looks uncannily similar to the knight from the story.
Oh, I'd say more than just similar. She's the spitting image. Oh, should we get an autograph? Oh, it's definitely her. The legendary Maid Knight.
Huh?
Well, let's go.
Oh, okay.
And so, the knight went west from Stonegate with her sword in hand and scaled the mountains of a vast new land. A legend from the moment she set foot in Liyue. Tales of the adventures of the Maid Knight would be talked about for hundreds of generations. Stay tuned for the next chapter.
Good start there. Ah, that's cute. Nice. Oh, got pretty much out for this one. I can't really decide between these two which one I like more. They're both really good though. We need to change things around at the very beginning this time. All the way back here. Alright, hold on. Just give me a bit, and I want to let my dog inside. Hello. Okay. Good buddy. Got. Hello again, Noel.
A thesis on chivalry. So much to learn before the exam. Oh, honor.
That looks okay.
I don't?
Oh.
I'm sorry to make you worry on my account.
Because you're not stuck.
I've been busy preparing for my exam. Other than for work and training, I've barely left the library. The exam is drawing nearer and nearer. Right. Even though I've it's just that I've failed several times in the past. I still don't know if I can make it this time.
Can I help?
No, thank you. I could take care of myself. I hope. This is my exam. Plus, there is still some time to go before. But on the day of the exam, based on the night schedule, it's just half a year. Even though I've planned my schedule. There's always coffee if I feel sleepy. No, it won't. Did I get too worked up all of a sudden? No. I apologize for letting you see me in such bad shape.
Okay, so I said this one first.
I'm okay now.
Do this.
But every time I think of the exam, but in
like
the
this
end...
is what this hasn't changed either. Alright, this one I think.
You mean studying isn't the only preparation I should be doing? Oh, if I don't overcome my fear of the exam, I will just repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Whenever I encounter something unexpected, I can't think straight. And whenever I start worrying that I might fail again, my mind goes completely blank.
Try imagining yourself passing the exam. Take more exams to get used to the exams. But practice makes perfect. I always take practice exams. I think this is the advice I would give.
Take some more exams? Would that really help me? Well, it's true that the more I study, the more unprepared I feel. It's inevitable that I'll run into something unexpected. But if I can simulate the atmosphere of an exam, then I can learn how to cope with it. But where would I even go to take one?
Often take part in the ranking exams of the Adventurers Guild. Not really, but okay.
The Adventurers Guild? Now that you mention it, someone once invited me to join them. Well, since it's recommended by the Honorary Knight, then I have to give it a try.
Alright. Let's go. Find Catherine. No problem at all. There you go. So just have to wait up for it to really load. There we go. Catherine.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. What kind of commission would you like to take on today?
About the Adventurers ranking exam.
You wish to take an exam? Please wait while I verify your adventure record and the status of your recent commissions.
I meant Noelle.
Sorry, Miss Catherine. Actually, I am the one who wishes to take the exam.
Oh, Noelle. You are finally ready to join the Adventurers Guild? Wonderful. I will process your application at once.
Not really.
No. I just want to take an exam for the experience. Right now, I don't have any plan to become an adventurer. I'm sorry.
I see. What a pity. Our exams are only available to official members of the guild. The content of each exam is determined based on the adventurer's individual experience and commission status. As such, I am unfortunately unable to arrange for you to have an exam.
Then I take the exam, but I have her do it. And then...
However, since you just want to experience what an exam is like, perhaps you can talk to Cyrus, the branch master. As it happens, he has recently been working on a new entrance exam for the guild. It has not yet been approved for official use. Perhaps you could give it a trial run.
Okay, that could work.
Indeed. Although the entrance exam does have something to do with you joining the guild.
Of course.
You can ask Branchmaster Cyrus if you require more details. He should be at Angel Share right now drafting the syllabus. He said he gets more inspired when he's there. We don't yet know what's included in the syllabus. Others in the guild have produced several drafts, but all of them were rejected by Cyrus.
It sounds as if I'll have a good chance of running into something unexpected.
Let's give it a try.
Yes, let's. Oh, I wonder what will be on the exam.
Alright. Good, is at the winery, right? Alright. There you are. Mr. Cyrus.
Hunt down 3 ruin guards. Could it be a little too difficult? What am I thinking? The newcomers will run a mile. Hunt down 3 boars in the forest. Nay, the guild will never approve that.
I mean, I would pick that one. I do not like boars at all.
Oh, it's you. And Noelle, I see.
Hello, Mr. Cyrus. Are you working on the exam syllabus? How is it coming along?
Don't get me started. Since the Travelers solved the Storm Terror crisis and became Mondstadt's hero, a whole load of young people got excited and decided to join the Adventurers Guild.
That's nice.
But most of them have no experience at all. They can't even handle a single slime without getting all battered and bruised in the process. So some genius in the guild decided, why don't we make an entrance exam?
Well, that sounds like a good idea, no? This way the adventurers won't get hurt so easily.
Yes, but if the exam is too difficult, no one will want to join. A few scrapes and bruises is nothing a strong will can't compensate for. Why doesn't anyone else in the guild understand this? Anyway, I already rejected 2 drafts, and now I'm working on a 3rd one myself. It's absolutely crucial that I get the difficulty level right. If only someone could give it a test run. At least then I could decide where the upper limit of difficulty should be.
Then, Mr. Cyrus, may I give it a try? I am very interested in experiencing the Adventurer's entrance exam.
Oh? Noelle, you mean you want to take the Adventurer's entrance exam?
Yes.
Ha ha! That's fantastic! Well, if it's you, Noelle, even with every challenge at the highest difficulty, you shouldn't have any problem at all.
Yes. Please make sure they are the most difficult.
Excellent! That's the spirit of a true adventurer. Now, let me explain the rules of the exam. First, since adventurers often work in groups, you are welcome to invite others to assist you during the exam. If the traveler is willing, please join Noelle. Indeed. Second, there are 3 parts to the exam, which are basic knowledge, survival skills, and a combat exercise. You only need to pass 2 out of 3 parts to succeed in the exam. But of course, Noelle should find she has no trouble getting a perfect score.
So you can still pass him if you're no good at combat.
And finally, remember at all times that being an adventurer takes courage and resilience. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Ha ha! That's the spirit. Without further ado, let's start part 1. Basic knowledge. A true adventurer must be well versed in all sorts of relevant knowledge to handle whatever may come their way. I will ask you 3 questions. You may discuss among yourselves first before giving me an answer. Question 1. An adventurer must be well acquainted with their environment to make sure they can obtain any resources they need. Tell me, which of the following local specialties of Mondstadt cannot be found near Wolvendom? Dandelion seeds, calla lilies, windwheel asters, or small lampgrass?
Wolvendom. I remember reading that there are wolf hooks everywhere, but the book made no specific mention of any other plants. No, I must approach this question differently. Is there anything here that requires specific environmental conditions in order to grow? Conditions that Wolvendom cannot provide?
Let's see. Windwheel asters, small lampgrass, calla lilies, dandelion seed. Dandelion seeds. I think they're all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but in a whole variety of areas around Mondstadt. So I don't know if I've seen one in Wolfendom. Windwheel asters is. They're definitely all over the place. I don't want to choose those. Calla lilies. Pretty sure those would need water, but I don't know if they're. Pretty sure there's water near Wolfendom. Small lamp. I don't know if I've seen small lampgrass. I'll give it a go.
Ooh, I'm afraid that's the wrong answer.
Okay.
On to question 2. An adventurer must always learn from their experience and keep track of everything they encounter in the form of a diary. There is a famous adventurer who once went exploring all over Liyue, documenting his whole journey. Thanks to the notes he took of each location that he went, young adventurers are now able to plan ahead and avoid the dangers there. What is the name of this adventurer?
Learning from experience, writing diaries. It seems like adventuring requires constant self-reflection, just like studying. Regarding this adventurer, I do believe I have read about him. He even made his mark on Dragonspine. Oh, yes, it must be him. Oh, what was his name?
I have no idea. Wildside Ronald Wyatt. Wyatt, I guess? I don't.
Ooh, what a pity. You were so close, but not quite close enough. Never mind, eh?
Do I lose my adventure rank if I must?
Last question. Let's have some fun with this one. The most terrifying domain for adventurers from Mondstadt. The infamous Windless Land.
Windless?
All that awaits you there is a sea of ashes and the deathly silence in the air. So, what is the name of this taboo territory?
Windless.
A sea of ashes, a windless land. What could it be?
I have never heard of any of these, so Mayor Chivalry. I'm gonna go with Mayor Chivalry.
Correct!
Yeah.
Keep this name in mind. Someday, you too will pass through this domain. Are the questions too difficult? If even Noel wasn't up to the task. Never mind. Don't worry too much. This was just testing your rote learning ability anyway. It wouldn't be much practical help on an adventure. But be warned, things start to get a little trickier in the survival skills test. Now, go and prepare yourselves. Meet me at Good Hunter when you think you're ready.
Alright, I think I am ready. Maybe not for this, but... I think I can handle survival skills and combat one from later.
Okay, let's begin part 2 of the entrance exam.
Ready and willing, Mr. Cyrus.
Staying well-fed and making sure to prepare sufficient food supplies is a key survival skill for adventurers.
I have plenty of that.
That's why the second part of the exam is to prepare a food item fit for an emergency out in the wild. There are 3 criteria. Firstly, the ingredients must be easily accessible in the wilderness. Secondly, preparation and cooking must be quick and easy. Thirdly, well, the food item in question must be able to help someone in dire straits to bounce back from the brink and regain their strength.
Okay, so like eggs or steak.
So go ahead, cook something full of passion and packed with flavor. Just bring it to me whenever it's ready. Noel, I await your dish with the greatest of anticipation. Ha ha!
Simple ingredients, easy to cook, helps you rally. Honorary Knight? Do you have any idea?
Let's see. Steak.
Steak? Good point. In a real emergency, all you'd need is a piece of meat. You wouldn't even need any seasoning.
I saw the emergency food item option, but I was tempted to do it, but I want to take this seriously.
Okay then. Once it's ready, let's take it over to Mr. Cyrus.
At least this time around. If there's an ending where you have to fail the whole thing, then I know what I'm choosing.
We can always change our minds if we have a better idea. One must be careful not to act too hastily when taking an exam.
How about it?
You're ready to go?
Here you go. Take this.
Steak! Steak! Ha ha ha! Hands down the top choice of a true adventurer. Simple ingredients, highly nutritious, and most importantly, all you need to cook it is an open flame. And when it's not an emergency, adding a bit of seasoning makes it even better. Succulent and juicy, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. The perfect accompaniment to an alcoholic beverage.
Like besides the alcohol, that whole thing is making me hungry.
Really? If you like it so much, I can always make a few more.
Not at all. I was merely contemplating having a celebratory libation on Noel's behalf. In any case, congratulations on passing part 2 of the exam. Up next is the final stage. Go get yourself ready. Then meet me at Bright Crown Canyon.
Got it.
Today's recommendation is the steak.
Let's see, where is it? There it is. Okay. So it's combat. If I remember correctly. We can handle combat. Unless it has some really requirements like no damage. And that's gonna be a pain. Hello?
Ad Astra Abysosk, and welcome to the third and final part of your exam. Are you ready?
Please, begin. I am ready.
Good. Now, the most important skill set for an adventurer is, of course, combat skills. Ferocious monsters, dangerous machines. Only Only in the heat of battle against your enemy does that surge of adrenaline really kick in.
Yep, it does.
This is the last part of the exam. Defeat the nearby ruin gods as quickly as you can.
Got it.
I will be watching from here. Give them all you've got, Noel.
Okay. This time, I am confident I will pass.
Got it. Let's see. That ruined. Alright, in that case. I've done this quite a bit.
By royal decree.
There we go. Get some overload damage right from the start. Hit it in. We'll finish off. Okay, here. We're not doing much damage here. There we go.
Honorary Knight! I did it!
Good job.
Not entirely. Whenever I've taken an exam in the past, I always get nervous and I can't control it. I know that it's just like in training, but I always end up worrying I might fail. But not this time. This time, it seems I was able to remain calm. Somehow, having you by my side is soothing.
Thank you.
It must be because you are here with me that I was able to complete the exam.
Not at all.
Thank you. Thank you. On the day of the real exam, if, and I mean only if...
I'll be there.
Great. Oh, maybe, just maybe, things will be different this time.
It makes you think, like, what kind of exam did the knights have that she keeps failing? Alright. Not you again. Alright. Make my way up.
Oh, back already? Even the third part of the exam is a walk in the park for you. Now, please allow me to announce the results of your adventurer's entrance examination. You successfully passed the exam! Oh, and you were so close to getting a perfect score, it feels like a missed opportunity.
It's probably an achievement or something for getting that.
But if even Noel could not get the perfect score, then maybe I still need to adjust the difficulty level a little further.
Yeah, definitely. First part, I cannot get that at all.
Yes, the barrier to entry must be lowered to cater to the newcomers. Then we can raise the difficulty at a later stage. Only in this way can we successfully attract newcomers.
I didn't get a perfect score?
Hey now, first things first. Allow me to congratulate you on what was nevertheless a sterling performance in your exam. I will have Catherine handle the admission process for you right away.
Oh no.
Noel?
Where did I go wrong? Is there any hope for me to improve?
No.
If I could start over. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Cyrus, what were you saying just now? I was a little lost in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
I was about to ask whether you would have the time to visit the guild with me.
I do apologize, Mr. Cyrus. I must get back to my exam preparation. If I don't review my mistakes, I will only repeat them the next time I run into the same problem. It seems I still have lots to learn. I will head back to the library now and continue studying.
Noel, you already passed your exam. What do you need to study for? Sure, you made a few mistakes, but this is an overreaction.
Alright, so here's the situation. So.
I see. Well, when you get back, would you mind going to the library and checking on Noel?
Yeah.
I hope my exam hasn't affected her mood. How can I get the exam to the right difficulty level? I should go back to the Angel's Share and give this some careful consideration over an alcoholic beverage.
Alright. Back to the library we go. Alright. Alright. Next time we go through this, I get a perfect score. And other time, guess we'll have to see what happens if we fail. Like, I want to talk to you, sir. You okay? You well?
Mustn't fall asleep.
You okay?
Oh, sorry, I zoned out a little. I didn't notice you there. I've summarized my experiences from the mock exam and created a new reading list. Getting to know Mondstadt's geography and a 1-minute history of adventuring in Mondstadt. Oh, there's so much I can learn from them. And then there's eating well in Mondstadt. I never realized there were so many ways to cook in the wild. Oh, and also self-defense, the art of down-to-earth dialogue with monsters. The combat approach of adventurers is definitely worth further study. The only thing is, there's so much to get through. Will I really be able to finish them all?
Will these all be covered in, like, the nice exam?
But what if this is the one time they do come up? What then? What if they ask me how to rescue an adventurer? Or how best to collaborate with the Adventurers Guild? If I neglect these topics now, I may live to regret it later. It looks like every second I have between now and my exam is going to count.
Okay, so that is worst ending so far. Okay. Right, imperfect examination. Okay, so we don't have to make her fail. We just need to get a perfect score, probably. Oh, now if I can handle that. Oh, I have no idea what the first one was called. Well, I got one choice for the first option, correct? For the first part of the test. There we go. That's good to go by, like,
hunt down 3.
the majority correct, or do I need to get everything right?
Hello, Mr. Cyrus.
No, but most.
That sounds...
Yes, a few scrape anyway.
Then, Mr. I am very...
Oh?
Yes.
Excellent. First,
If
the traveler is willing. Indeed. You only need to pass 2 out.
Add...
A true adventure. I will ask question 1. Tell me, which of the following...
What is this coming from? So we know it's not swampland grass. Actually, I don't know if I've actually seen dandelions near Wolfendom or not. When we'll ask theirs, I feel like they'd be there, but at least down to these 2. Strike.
I'm afraid. On to question 2. An adventurer must always learn from their experience and keep track of everything they encounter in the forest. There is a famous, thanks to the note.
Learning from experience regarding this.
Ooh, what a pity. Last question. All that await. Correct. Never mind. But be now.
Alright. Restart this. Okay. Abandoned Abandoned hangouts. Go back here. Okay.
Hunt down three board. Oh, it's you.
Hello, Mr. Cyrus.
Don't, but most.
That sounds.
Yes, a few
Hey, he doesn't
scrapes
want
and
to force it.
bruises is nothing a strong. Anyway.
Then, Miss, I am very.
Oh?
Yes.
Excellent. First, sit if the traveler is willing. Indeed. You only need to pass 2 out.
Add.
A true adventure. I will ask you question 1. Tell me, which...
Alright, let's try Chivalry.
Ooh, I'm afraid that's the wrong answer.
It's the Asters? Okay.
On to question 2. There is a thanks to the notes he took.
Learning from experience regarding.
Okay, well then we know it has to be the Asters. Okay, so it's not this, neither these two. I want to try Wild.
Ooh, what a pity. You were so close, but not quite close
Okay,
enough.
so it's like Road.
Never mind, eh? Last question. All that we...
Alright.
Correct. Never mind. But be now.
Alright. We have what we need to actually get this over. And then hang out. Let's go again. We got this time. As long as I don't mess it up.
Hunt down 3 boards. Oh, it's you.
Hello, Mr. Cyrus.
But most...
That sounds.
Yes, a few script anyway.
Then, Mr. I am very.
Oh?
Yes.
Excellent. First, sit if the traveler is willing. Indeed. You only need to pass 2 out of 3.
Add.
A true adventure. I will ask you
Alright, I am ready for these 3 questions, finally. Okay. Aster.
That's it! The Windwheel Aster mostly grows in Storm Terror's lair, at Windrise, and near statues of the 7. All the others are much more widely found. Mr. Cyrus, our answer is Windwheel Aster.
Correct. There's no fooling you two, eh?
Yeah, we
On
got
to
it.
question 2. An adventure. There is a fame thanks to the note.
Learning from regarding this.
Roll.
That's it! It's rolled!
Correct. I had thought this question would be a little more challenging to adventurers from Mondstadt. Once again, Noel, you never fail to impress. Last question.
Alright.
All that...
There we go.
Correct. That's 3 for 3. As expected, these questions were no match for you. But be warned, things start to get a little trickier in the survival skills test. Now, go and prepare yourselves. Meet me at Good Hunter when you think you're ready.
Alright. We got this now, guys. We 100% got this now. Let's do the stake again. Nope, that ruined part. We are good.
Okay, let's be
ready and willing.
Staying well, that's why this. Firstly, secondly, thirdly, so go ahead.
Honorary knight?
We need stake.
Okay then, we can always change.
Mr. Cyrus, I have your stake ready to go. Alright, got this. We got this.
Really? If you like it so much, I can.
In any case,
All that's
go get
left is
yourself...
that ruined guard, and we can take care of him, no problem. But what I do know now, thanks to it, is that the Noel that they give us in this story quest is not very good. So, I use solely characters I've put on me here. I shouldn't be surprised because it was only level 45. Stamina. Stop doing this to me. It's Osiris. We're ready.
And ask.
Please.
Good. Ferocious. This is. I will be what?
Okay.
Alright. Straight to jangling. Alright. So I want to wait a. It wasn't taking much damage as was getting.
Out of the fright.
Now it's ready, I think.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Now it's good. Boom, and boom.
Honorary knight! I did it! Not
Yep,
tired. I know that it's just, but not this time.
Thank you,
Somehow,
Noelle.
having you, it must be because you are here with me. Thank you. On the day of the real exam.
I will.
Great.
Alright. Mr. Cyrus. We are good. Okay, we got here. Eight for 3.
Oh, back
That's what you
already? Even the third part of the exam is a walk in the park for you. Now, please allow me to announce the results of your adventurer's entrance examination.
Yes.
You passed with a perfect score. Noelle, you are incredible as always.
Oh, well, it's all because I had an honorary knight by my side.
Without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to officially grant you the title of Adventurer. May your days ahead be filled with adventure, and may you boldly explore the stars above and the abyss below. Ad astra abyssosk! Ha 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 ha!
That's not what we're here for, sir, but thank you.
My. I never thought I'd see the day when Noelle would finally come around to the idea of joining the Adventurers Guild.
Oh, Mr. Cyrus, I'm terribly sorry, but actually
There's no need to talk like an outsider anymore. From now on, you can call me Branch Master, and I will call you Adventurer.
There's no need for that.
I'm very sorry, but I actually wasn't planning to join the Adventurers Guild at all. I just wanted to take an exam so I could get used to the atmosphere. I thought it might help me better prepare for the Knights of Favonia's selection exam.
You mean?
I mean, there's no reason you can't be a member of both, right? I mean, I kind of am a member of both, because I'm honorary knight of Favonia's, and I'm an adventurer.
Oh, how can this be? I was just about to recommend you to the perfect adventure team. Why not give it some more thought? Even if you're not ready to be a full-time adventurer, you'd be more than welcome to help out every now and then. Just think of it as, yes, think of it as part of your exam preparation. You know, if you think about it, adventurers have a lot in common with the knights. Both want to defend Mondstadt.
That's true.
Exam preparation? Defend Mondstadt?
Yes, precisely. I assure you it won't take up too much of your time. I believe it's only around 4 commissions per day.
It's true.
4 commissions? Maybe if I can squeeze out some time from my breaks.
I mean, the only option here is just telling them well, stay strong, but I mean, commissions, you don't even really need, you get rid of the time it takes to travel. It only takes like 10 minutes maximum to get all of them done.
If I'm not careful, the urge to accommodate just takes over. I'm sorry, Mr. Cyrus, but I'm afraid that my answer is still...
Please, Noelle, I'm begging you. We need your help.
Are you okay, sir?
Well, if my assistance is required...
Well, let's get back. Go do some study.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Mr. Cyrus. Maybe next time.
Oh, that's nice. Alright, I love this ending a lot. I kind of feel bad for Cyrus though. Okay. All this done. Then we just... all we need is one last ending. Well, two last endings there. I don't know how we're supposed to get to that part. We'll see. Down there. Why do I keep suddenly talking to that guy? Oh no, and
A thesis on chivalry. So much to learn before the exam.
we are good with all of this. Just came by to say.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I've been busy preparing. The exam is drawing nearer and nearer. Right. Even though it's just that I failed several times in the past.
I can be a study
buddy. This is my. Plus, there is still. But on the day of the based on the nights. But it's just happened. Even though there is still. I've planned my schedule. Well, there's always coffee if I feel sleepy. No, I won't. Did I get too worked up? No. I apologize for letting you see me in such bad shape. I'm okay now.
We try to relieve your anxiety. I feel like there's no difference between these two, right?
Whatever, but in the end, I can't.
Change your scenery will do you good. Don't hide from it. Confront this. There's only one option with this one. That's going to leave you guys. Do this one.
Oh, you mean whenever I encounter.
So try to imagine yourself passing the exam, because this one does the Adventure Guild things.
Imagine myself passing the exam.
If you pass the selection exam, what kind of knight would you want to become?
What kind of knight? I always thought that just qualifying to be a knight was challenging enough to begin with. The knight that I want to be someday. Oh, that feels so far away that it's a little difficult to imagine.
Yeah, let's start with knights closer to home. How about an outrider like Amber? Yeah, I wish we got to see Amber more in this story, honestly. Or at least get her a story quest. I haven't seen her in so long.
An outrider? I'm sure Amber would be happy to see the Outriders grow as a team, but my strengths are not in scouting and luring the enemy, and I'm not as agile as Amber. I don't know if I would be of any assistance to her. However, I did once get Amber to teach me how to make Baron Bunnies.
Ooh.
If I were to use Baron Bunny to lure the enemy away and protect my fellow knights, I suppose I could do it.
To perform the duty of a qualified knight, you might think of it as practicing for when you'll have. This won't work.
I still have some of the materials we used when she taught me. There's just a few extra things I'd need. Making the stuffing requires pyro slime condensate, and the red dye used to grab the enemy's attention can be made from crushed valberries.
I have plenty of both.
It's just that dried valberries are not very suitable for making dye. I'll need to get some fresh ones from the Stormbearer Mountains.
I have fresh ones.
So, let's start by going to the Stormbearer Mountains.
Alright, fine. I have plenty though. Take mine. Alright. No. Save my stamina, I don't want to drown in here.
Yes, this should be plenty of valberries. Oh, pyro slimes.
Alright.
Perfect. They can provide us with another ingredient we need.
There we go. Nice.
Pyro slime condensate, crushed valberries. Good. Now I can start to make a Baron bunny. Through here. Conceal the stitch. Done.
Alright.
Far from it. I know it looks the part on the outside, but I still don't know if it will really work.
How do you get them to move or run around, like dance a bit?
There should be a hilly trail camp nearby. Let's place the Baron bunny there and try it out.
I mean, there's that thing, where there's always a bunch of hilly churls.
Someone needs assistance. The hilly trails are coming back. Let's see if the Baron bunny gets their attention. What's going on? They're completely ignoring the Baron bunny.
Alright.
They're coming this way. Watch out.
Get out of here. Let's get some overload damage on him. Nice. Get out of here. Trying to move at least. That's something. Right here.
Oh, it neither attracted their attention nor exploded. In the end, all I managed to recreate was the outward appearance.
Maybe Amber controls it using her pirate ability.
I suppose the conclusion is I can't become an outrider like Amber.
That's true.
Oh, maybe I'm not yet ready to carry out the work of a fully qualified knight.
Maybe you're just not suited to become an outrider.
But I just can't think of what else I could do.
I mean, you could try being cavalry like Kaya is, I think.
Every time I've looked forward to passing the exam, I always ended up disappointed in the end. Whenever I remember that feeling of disappointment, I stop being able to think about what kind of knight I could become.
You could be a cavalry captain like Kaya. You know, maybe you could even go out on a journey to find the legendary horses that don't exist in this game for some reason. I think Grandmaster like she. They both overwork themselves a lot. So no. So I would say she is used to lots of hard work things. It could be a good fit for her, but in terms of health wise, not a good idea.
Captain Kaya? Oh no, I could never manage that. Captain Kaya has his own way of thinking and planning. Well, sometimes I can barely understand it, and as for imitating it, I simply wouldn't know where to begin.
Kaya doesn't spend every second of every day making big plans. If anything, he's one of the most laid back of the Knights of Favonius. Like, from what I know, he spends a good amount of time at the tavern just toying around with D-Luke. Kind of being a pain to him.
Oh, so you mean I should focus on smaller steps in order to achieve a larger goal? Well, I suppose with smaller goals, I won't be disappointed day to day. Since the larger goal is so high, I couldn't hope to achieve it immediately. In which case... Captain Kaya seems to be in the habit of fishing for information at Angel's Share.
I wonder if we actually get to see Kaya.
That's pretty small. And yet, I heard that the reason we were able to arrest those treasure hoarders last time was thanks to Captain Kaya's intel. All right.
Angel's Share.
I hope I can find some intel that proves useful to Mondstadt.
Yeah. Alright. Go share right over there. And a missing person posted. Okay. There we are. No Kaya though. That's a shame. Oh, Charles. Thanks, man.
Oh, it's the honorary knight in Noel. Can I get you a drink? A non-alcoholic drink, of course.
No need. We didn't come here to drink. I wanted to ask if there's been anyone causing any trouble in the tavern lately.
Troublemakers? Let me think. Actually, there was one.
Oh?
Oh, really?
It's that guy drinking at the table over there. Payne. He keeps ordering refills of our strongest drink, Death Afternoon. Look how he's wobbling. If he passes out drunk, that could spell trouble.
Yes, that certainly sounds like a lot of trouble, although that's not quite what I was asking about. Is there anything in the tavern that has been out of the ordinary lately?
Out of the ordinary? Let me think.
Well, I mean, there was Dainsliff not too long ago. He's certainly out of the ordinary. He's from a fallen fallen civilization.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. There are still some empty glasses on the tables upstairs that need clearing away. Must have been left there by the customers this morning. But I am busy with the accounts at the moment. And if I can't find time to clear the tables before the evening crowd arrives, things could get difficult.
It's not what I wanted, but okay. So.
Really? Oh, that sounds truly terrible. Maybe I can help?
Well, you're forgetting why we're here. Do not let your maid instincts kick in.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't help myself. Mr. Charles, what I was really trying to ask was...
Oh, I know. You wanted to know if you could help out, right?
No.
Surely that would be asking too much. I have yet to thank you properly for helping us move those kegs last time. And here you are offering to help again. I couldn't accept your offer in good conscience. That being said, we are quite overwhelmed right now. So if it's all the same to you, ma'am, would you mind serving the customers for a while?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay then. It seems you are in great need of assistance.
Well.
Oh, thanks a million. Okay. I'll leave you to serve the customers then. Start by taking this Death Afternoon to Payne, and then maybe you can clear the tables on the second floor? That should put us back on track. Okay, I should get on with the accounts, so for now I'll leave the running of the tavern in your capable hands.
Wow. So this is what happens when I try to go with the flow. It appears that Captain Kaya's way with words does not come the most naturally to me. But waitressing in the tavern should be a good means of gathering intel, right? It's quite a common motif in the books I've read. I just need to keep my eyes and ears open while I'm helping Charles with the tavern duties.
Or maybe this is just like helping her find out what kind of maid she wants to be, like just being someone that helps people. That's what I'm guessing.
Excuse me, Payne. Here is the drink you ordered.
What? What's that? Oh, yeah, put it to the side. I think I need to sober up.
Probably.
This drink is strong. Oh, I don't feel so good.
Mr. Payne, are you all right? Do you need to take a rest? Let me think. If I'm not mistaken, Captain Kaya would first get his subject drunk before asking them any questions. This appears to be true. We must find another approach. Captain Kaya would probably appear cordial and sincere as a means to convince his subject to lower their guard, would he not?
He would. That does sound like
Kaya. Start by focusing on the person's individual circumstances and communicate a complete willingness to help. Then slowly move the conversation in the desired direction. Ooh, but how can I offer to help Mr. Payne right here and now? I've got it! Perhaps the dried fruits that I prepared for my exam could help him to sober up.
Maybe.
Mr. Payne, please eat this. It will make you feel better.
Oh, what's this? Oh, it tastes sweet and sour. Ooh, I do feel slightly better now. Oh, you're Noelle, isn't it? And next to you is...
Mr. Payne? Are you feeling any better? Is there anything you wish to tell me?
Next to you is... It's the death afternoon that I ordered. Yes. Did you bring this to my table?
Okay.
Thanks, Noelle.
I guess I'm just not here anymore. Okay.
This drink is so strong.
Mr. Payne? Mr. Payne?
I have to
How
drink
can
this
this
again.
be? Drinking like this is disastrous for one's health.
Maybe applying the customers with alcohol symptoms.
Perhaps. Although, maybe it would be easier if there were a few more customers. Oh, Mr. Charles also asked me to clear the tables on the second floor.
Yep.
If the second floor is filled with customers, perhaps I'll have the opportunity to overhear a thing or two.
I don't know. There usually aren't people in here.
It's such a mess. I must clear everything away quickly so that we can serve more customers.
Wine is heavenly.
So many stains. Once the tables are clear, they'll need to be washed with a good detergent.
Yeah, I think my first
We're almost
idea was
done.
right.
A clean and tidy environment, always bright. Whew. Finally, all clear. Let's go check in with Charles. Mr. Charles, everything has been dealt with. Is there anything else you need help with?
Wow, already? The customer at the table by the window just ordered a couple of things. Would you mind taking care of them?
Okay.
With Noelle here, the tavern feels livelier than ever.
Oh, no.
It's not easy working at a tavern, but at least it's over now.
Yeah, well done. I just got any intel.
Well done to you, too. Oh, intel. No, I got so caught up with working that I completely forgot we were here to gather intel. What should I do? There are hardly any customers left that I could talk to. Oh, am I so incapable of handling even a simple task like this?
Thanks for all your help today, Noelle. I've been a bartender here for more than a decade, and I've never seen a happier crowd of drinkers than the ones who are here tonight. I can only assume that with you serving the customers, the wine tasted all the sweeter.
I'm quite sure that can't be true. I didn't do anything particularly special.
Customers don't come here purely for the drinks. They come for what the drink represents. Some time to relax after a long day of work. Often customers choose this tavern not just for the quality of the drinks we serve, but also for the great atmosphere. You may not have brewed the wine or even mixed the drinks, but for many customers, service with a smile is what makes the difference between a glass of wine and a great night out. It seems this tavern could do with more than just a single bartender. What we need is some proper waiting staff to really take care of the customers. Perhaps I could convince the boss to hire a server. Anyway, I digress. Thanks again for all your help tonight.
Wow, I'm so glad to know I made everyone so happy.
Look after months down here on what?
Yes. Even though I failed to imitate Captain Kaya, it looks like I was still able to help those in need.
It's the same with me. Sam, just aim to do well at the things you're good at, or always have strength and weakness. I think this one works best.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. I sense that it's probably not the best moment. However, could I ask for one last little favor?
Okay.
Drinking to make merry is all well and good, but passing out drunk in my tavern? That's a pain.
It needs to be taken out. I think I know what it is.
Payne ordered 2 more deaths after noon over the course of the night.
Alright. Not a bad ending at all. Not as good as some of the others, but it works. Okay. So now for Gene. well, trying to copy Jean. I wish we could actually meet some of the other characters, though, as we're doing the story quests. Like, I know the hangout events are just for, like, those certain characters, but it'd be nice to come across some other people we know, like, from all this. Bring in Barbara because we know we use her for the first line.
This should be plenty of valberries. Oh!
Alright.
Pyro slimes! Perfect! They can provide us with another ingredient we need.
Goodbye.
Pyro
I
slime
feel like we've been
condensate,
building up my bar
crushed
actually
valberries?
quite a bit well in terms of DPS.
Good. Now I can start to make
Sort
a
of, at
Baron
least.
bunny. Through here. Conceal the stitch. Done. Far from it. I know it looks the part on the outside, but I still don't know if it will really work. There should be a hilly drill camp nearby. Let's place the Baron bunny there and try it out.
Alright. We know it's not gonna work, so let's have the Traveler ready to go and ready to fight.
The hilly trills are coming back. Let's see if the Baron bunny gets their attention.
Nice.
What's going on? They're completely ignoring the Baron bunny.
All of you out of here.
They're coming this way. Watch out.
I need to get rid of this guy. He's gonna be an absolute pain. Oh. Alright.
Oh, it neither attracted their attention nor, I suppose, maybe I'm, but every time I've looked, whenever I remember.
Let's try this one. Becoming an acting grandmaster like Jean.
Master Jean? How could I ever become someone great like her?
Actually, now that I think of it, how can you become an acting grandmaster? Like, that job isn't gonna come up too often when it's the current grandmaster comes back from whatever they're doing.
Master Jean is a pillar of the Knights of Favonius, and a great source of inspiration to me. If I could gain even one or two of her qualities, I would be very happy. But the thought of becoming a knight just like her in every way? Oh, I could never achieve that.
Guess I'll go first. We start from the smaller
You think so? I suppose if the goal is set so high that I couldn't hope to achieve it immediately, I won't be too disappointed day to day. But where to start? I can't imagine what I would need to do to become more like Master Jean.
Jean often helps out the locals around town.
Oh, that's true. Master Jean is always lending a hand to citizens in need. So strong, but so gentle too.
Also, sometimes people kind of take advantage of her too much. Like, I remember there was one quest where people were making her do things like trying to find a lost cat. I think something about taxes. She doesn't know when to say no.
I still don't think I can do what Master Jean does, but at least I could start by trying to be gentle like her. Okay, then let's head back to Mondstadt and see if anyone needs help.
Alright. Go. Teleport waypoint. There we go.
I'm sorry, Marjorie. I was focused solely on chatting with Quinn. I didn't see anything else at all. If you're out of other options, maybe you could get help from the Knights? I'm sure if Master Jean heard about it, she'd help you find it in no time.
Thanks. I'll check with a few more people first. If no one has seen it, then I guess I'll just have to ask the Knights.
All right. Well, I hope it turns up soon. Bye now. Maybe I should just tell the knights already.
Marjorie. Is she the one with the cats?
Miss
Not sure.
Marjorie, are you in need of assistance?
Oh, Noelle. Since you asked, I seem to have misplaced a monocle that I imported from Sumeru.
Oh, okay.
I was organizing the stock that had just arrived, and because the monocle was so fragile, I took it out, wiped it, and put it aside. But then, I went to get it after I was done with the stock, and it was gone. I've asked around, but no one seems to have any idea where it could be.
I didn't like this number before.
Anything like this? Well, it's not completely unheard of. You know my store. There are all sorts of exotic items.
Oh, it's someone different. It's not the person with the kid.
In the past, I've lost a carved wooden perch and some boneware, but as soon as I reported them missing to the knights, they were recovered right away.
May I ask, where were the missing items recovered from?
Oh, the wooden perch was mistaken for a real fish by Margaret's cat, and as for the boneware, they eventually found that in a dog kennel somewhere outside the city.
So many people calling on the knights for so many things, no wonder Jean's so busy. That is true.
Oh no, we mustn't increase Jean's workload any further. Master Jean's time should be spent on more important things.
Like taking a break. Just like in that one story quest.
Miss Marjorie, would you mind letting me help you find the missing monocle? I may not be as efficient as Master Jean, but I will do my very best to help you find it.
Oh, of course that's okay. But isn't asking Noelle the same thing as asking the knights?
I mean, she's a knight in training, so not really.
I'd better gather some more information before heading out. As well as confirming some details regarding the monocle itself, we should find out as much as possible from Marjorie about the circumstances under which it went missing.
So, do you have some ideas on where to start? Ask me whatever you want to know. I'll answer to the best of my memory.
Okay, tell us about the missing item.
The missing item. Well, it's a monocle to start with.
Okay.
And since it came from Sumeru, the design should be fairly recognizable.
Give us details.
As for other distinguishing features, it's very light and it's very small.
Did you see anything?
I had my head down and I was busy working through the stock. I didn't see anything that was going on around me, but the street is so busy that surely someone would have noticed if it had been stolen.
Did you hear anything?
Oh, now that you mention it, I do remember hearing some kind of flapping sound.
Okay, so a bird took it.
The sound went as soon as it came, and I was focused on checking if anyone had seen anything, so I didn't give it too much thought at the time. Do you think it could be connected?
Yeah.
I first heard it behind me, and then it seemed to fade out in a northwesterly direction. Now I wish I'd followed the sound and spoken to people along the way.
Alright, time to go interrogate Timmy's birds.
Honorary Knight, shall we go head in that direction and make some inquiries? Maybe we'll find some clues.
Alright. Time for Timmy's birds later. Okay, so I'm not supposed to just ask people around. I was safe to say it was probably a bird, so maybe I need to go higher up. Yeah, I'll just be right here and just... Yeah, relax. Go up here. Why is there a missing wanted poster over here, actually? I always wondered that, like, no one is going to see that from here. Light around here, find something. I don't see any. Nothing in the bird. somewhere around here. I'm not very conservative, so I might be missing something here a lot of times. Let me know if that happens. Northwest. Hey, dude. No, that's just it. I don't think that's gonna help. Bird egg sometimes now when I get rid of bushes. Maybe something in here? No. Yeah, that's. Maybe you should just ask the people around here. Target?
A missing monocle, you say? I don't recall my child bringing anything like that back.
Okay. Okay then. So I should be asking people. Glory, what have you seen?
Excuse me, Glory. Have you heard anything that might be described as a flapping sound in this area recently?
Alright, there we go.
Marjorie's monocle has gone missing from her shop. We're trying to look for clues.
Flapping sound? Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I believe it was the sound of a finch flapping its wings.
Oh.
It sounded a lot heavier today than usual, as if it was carrying something.
So, maybe the finch took the monocle back to its nest. Well, I've seen their nests in the past on occasion while I'm cleaning the roof. What do you say we have a look, traveler?
Alright.
Finally, we have a lead to go on. Thank you, Glory.
You're welcome. May you swiftly recover the lost item by the grace of the Animo Archon.
Lucky Venti actually does come in and help us get the monocle back. So let's step to first. Look for monocle.
Oh, I don't think it's here.
You might leave the egg here. Yeah, same here.
No,
There's
it
plenty of
doesn't seem
egg
to be here.
and plenty of steak. I don't need any more. Alright, boy. Oh, good.
We found it!
There.
This must be Miss Marjorie's missing monocle. Let's take it back to her right away. I hope we haven't kept her waiting too long.
Alright, she's right in front of her old shop.
Miss Marjorie? Here, we found your monocle.
Wow, you were so quick. How wonderful. I thought I wouldn't be hearing back for a few days yet.
Few days?
Sure. In the past, when I've lost something and asked the Knights for help, it can take them a while to get around to it. After all, the Knights have all sorts of things that they're busy with, big and small. No matter how capable Jean might be, she can't be in two places at once, can she?
That is true.
Thanks to you, Noelle, we don't have to trouble the Knights with every little thing that comes up. Now that I think about it, Noelle is basically like another Jean. In that sense, it really does feel like Jean can be in two places at once.
Yeah, they do, Boo. Both are the same in lots of ways.
No, surely you
We're
can't
working
be serious.
which they shouldn't
How
be
can I
doing.
compare to Master Jean? I can only help people with small things, like finding lost property.
Whether it's big or small, it's all the same to us. Things we can't handle by ourselves. Noelle, once you've qualified as an official knight, will that mean you don't have time to help us anymore? I, for one, am going to miss you.
No, not at all. If I do become a knight in the future, I will continue to help everyone with their problems.
I was just kidding. Keep up. I'm sure everyone in Mondstadt can't wait to see the kind of knight you become.
I will keep working hard.
Thanks again. I suppose I should put this in a secure place this time.
The kind of knight that I become.
You seem happy.
Oh, do I? Yes. Maybe it's because I'm not afraid anymore. I've never dared to imagine myself as a knight before. I always feared that the higher my expectations, the more disappointed I'll be if I don't live up to them. But let's say I do become a knight in the future. Maybe I will simply continue to do the same things that I'm doing right now. It doesn't matter to me how small these things are or how tiring. I do these things not because I'm a maid, but because of my own will.
Just the kind of knight you want to be in a way.
Yes, there's no need to become someone else, nor worry about failing. As long as I perform better in my next exam than in my previous one, then one day I will become a knight that I can be proud of.
Yeah. Up this ending, definitely. Okay, so that's everything done. And it's been 3 hours now, so maybe I should stop. You know what? Actually, I want to at least do this first. Alright. Then I'm back to the outer lands of Inazuma and help Xavier. Xavier. Okay. Everything? Yeah, we're good. Let's do this. Okay. Next one. Okay. Deal with the fits. We can do that. Doing this for quite a while now, so hopefully this might be the last part I need to actually do.
Disappear.
Okay, get rid of you. I wanted to knock them off the edge. Nice.
Nice and sweet.
Ow. Get the items, get the items. Run.
Out of my sight.
Alright, fine. I'm gonna save this for later.
This body.
At least save her health for later. Then Traveler at least is going to take a lot of damage from this and difficult. These guys. Come on. How do I get back up? Oh no. What?
Come on.
Heal everyone. Alright, let's go. Oh, nothing. What? Alright. I think that is a way. I'm gonna go over. There you go. Take care of that. Wait. I couldn't really teleport. One. Dude. I wish you could have told me this before, Xavier. Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna heal over here. Statue. There we go. Alright, use this. And then just glide on down. Hey, there's a nameless samurai guy. Alright, and he is not. I didn't see him inside either. he's around here. Where are you, Xavier? Oh, hold on. We're here. There we go. Alright. Alright, what happened? So 1, 2, 3, Alright, got it. Alright. I got all three. Please tell me this is the end, because I am really sick and tired of Fail Thunder right about now. There you go, Saber. Yes. Have all these back. Okay. Now spot this one's ideal for our final check. Alright, fine. Alright, guys. Bye, guys. Oh.
Right.
Get out of here, sir.
Wind blade.
Here, climb up. Alright, it should be over around here. Need to get this so I don't die. There we are. I believe this might displease our particular friends. Alright, I'll take care of them. No, oh, no, not you, stay away. You, counter. You stay away, sir.
This isn't good.
Where are you?
Nope, none of that.
Disappear.
Okay. Pause for good measure.
In this body.
Where are you hiding this time? I did a ton of them to make that. I got the
The insolent shall be punished.
As you wish, me Fräulein.
Winter.
Hi, you too. Alright, where is it? Heal official. And Traveler can get all of this. Because I have too many. Spot. Alright. Alright. I'll handle them. Warfare 2 here apparently coming.
Crisp. By royal
Alright.
Put your back into it.
Windblade.
Alright. Hold on. I think I need actual strength here.
Shadow Raven, let night fall.
Oh no. This is not good. Okay. Take care of these guys.
Windblade.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Nice and spicy.
Come on.
Wings of darkness.
Face.
Come, sever night.
Windblade. No rest for the wicked.
Alright, come on. Come on, guys.
With the wind.
This should be fun.
Come on, please. Ow.
I summon thee.
Oh boy. This is not good.
By royal
Special. In here. Nope. No, 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 no. Nope.
Windblade.
Let's dance.
Okay. Get about this. Alright, been working on this. Alright. Maybe I give her the whole gladiator set, that could help out a lot. Give just her all of these, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I'll just give her anything I don't think I'm going to really need. There we go. I don't know if I'll use these. Okay, about this. Probably that one, yeah. Okay. That's all I want to. I feel like I could get rid of. Hold on, let's see. Okay. Right now her attack is 1-3-1-3. What happens when I switch? Ooh. Ooh, it's actually almost as high as 30. Okay then. I'll get rid of this then. Bit too much H. That should be fine. Alright. Alright. 108. I love a fish. Oh. Damage. We don't have any more of the Wanderer's trope, I don't think. Not yet. Well, actually, this one. It's not strong enough to replace this one yet. This to do. Okay. Alright. Let's get some food and try again. Okay. Never been particularly fond of like having this tech standard plus. This takes it to a new level. Right now. Okay. Changing things up again a bit. You are going to be a main DPS.
Nice and spicy.
Let's see how that goes. Come on, jangling. Come on. What?
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
That's one more. Now.
It's the fire.
Let's see what. Get rid of it. Jim now we get. That's gone. Bump up.
Get them.
Kinda hard when half of them are going invisible and stuff. Come on. Yes, let's go. Nope. There we go.
Can't run from death.
Thank you, Shaggy. Is that it? Did it finally! No more Elf Thunder. I can explore this place with peace in mind. Over. Step back to the top and see what the situation is. Not far.
Come on.
Heal everyone up.
Do it.
Finally. All this time. It should be like carrier. Up there it is. Right, up. Honestly though, the thingy he used to purify the
Let the show be.
furnace thing Why is it so fragile? Like, if it was just like the slightest bit sturdier, we would have no problem. She's off with that. It was. There we go.
I'll protect us.
Way ahead, I'm over here. All is good, yes. You're a blonde traveler. Just a moment. I think I remember that. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, regardless, I'd like to thank you for all your help. I am terrible at my job. Alright. Yada yada yada. Alright, thank you, sir. Nice. How's that? There's still this. From what I've seen, I feel like there's still a lot more I need to do with my characters. A lot of building up I gotta do before I think I'm ready for this. You get more 5-star weapons, definitely. Well, like, not weapons, but like artifacts and weapons in general. I do need to upgrade my weapons. That's it for now, but still this. I said at the beginning of this stream, I do everything and then see how it looks. Okay. I have 12,000 Prima Gems. And I... So that would be... I'm not sure, but... I estimate it's about 70? I'm bad at math, but this is gonna be lots. It might be fine to do just one, but I'm not sure. Just one. But I've had bad luck with all the others. Like the other 20 wishes I've done on this banner still. Okay, but I know now that pity carries over, at least, so... Is it worth it to possibly get more Yoimiya or possibly get pity, or honestly getting a 5-star at all? Okay, let me look at details. Oh, okay, I have 75 balls. First time you win 5 stars. Base probability of winning 5 less than 1%. At least once per 90 attempts. 90. I mean, when time comes for ball to come 1 week, well, could I make back, like, all the primitives? I mean, I've been saying I want to save everything for ball, but I really like Yoimiya. Okay, so if your estimate's correct, 65 holes for ball, assuming I somehow don't get anything like in between me and the ball banner. It's a lot, but if it's just the same race, I have like a 2 out of 3 chance, I guess, sort of getting catching with the last 5 stuff. I got it from the standard wish, so you said it was separate, so I don't think it counts. In that case, when was the last time I got a 5 star? And Faye, yeah, there's catching. So going on past that, when was the last time I got a 5 star? Oh. So I haven't got at least not from summits, I don't think I've ever gotten a 5 star besides Genshin. So no one from or like what the events banners. Alright. So that's 1. And I always do 5. I always do like times 10 wishes. That's 1. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Wait, hold on. I can't count the can't count the one with the standard wishes. 6, 7. 7 minus 6. So 60 event wishes, I think. I'm not sure. Limited banner list. I'm not sure. Character event. I don't know. I really want to do it, but I don't. It is so since you got catch. Yep, guaranteed on your. Wait, I didn't get catching from this banner though. So is that a problem? Because like I got her from this one here. Sure the witch has. I don't know if it. Probably been playing this game for more than 6 months. I don't remember exactly. Maybe I have more. It says limited banners. How do I check that? Switch it to permanent. Oh, okay. Fade out. And mount. Sing to. And wait. Yeah, kitchen was pulled from the event. Huh, could have sworn it was from the stain. Okay. So if I do get a 5-star now, I'm guaranteed to get your mod, I think. Or would it... If I do have pity, then would it be better to save then for ball so that I can get... If I do get even just one 5-star, it's guaranteed to be ball. So much money. Okay, I have lots of prima gems. Maybe just one won't hurt. Just this one. If I don't get Yoimiya, I'm not pulling the hurt banner again. That's the limit I'm putting on myself. You know what? Yeah, okay. I'll do it. Alright. Oh. Okay, I'm in the... Fact. At least I get the Stardust, I guess. Okay, constantly for Ningguangs. Not the worst. Yeah, my luck is... It is just awful. Even Streamlabs hates it. Because it's dropping a whole bunch of frames now. Well, I mean I guess that's it for the Yoimiya banner, but at least I have a bunch more Stardust for next month at least. Still have plenty of private gems. But yeah, but kind of a sour note, but I think I'm gonna end things here for now, but thank you to everyone who came today. For my very last stream before I moved to my college dorm. So, if I can stream on Thursday and, well, I don't know about Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, maybe some other time this week or next week. We'll see. Till then, I'll see you there. And bye.